Hi everyone! I've been getting some people asking about how I developed my art style. It makes me very happy that people are interested in my process, and I'm very grateful for the kind comments I've been receiving. So today, I'll walk you through how my art style came to be in its current form. I've also been making digital art since 2014, so I'd love to share some art wisdom I've learned over the years too. Firstly, let's go over what an art style actually is. In my opinion, an art style is a culmination of techniques and personal preferences that come together in an artist's work. While it's mainly a personal development, there have been documented art style trends within online communities. For example, the Cal art style trend of the mid-2010s. For some artists, their style is also their brand, and sometimes you can even tell who made a piece just by looking at the style or even the color scheme. A lot of beginner artists want to quickly develop their style to solidify their identity within their art. However, an art style is usually developed over a long period of time and kind of comes hand in hand with leveling up basic art skills. It's also fluid, and even when an artist is very skilled, it can still change and grow. So don't be too down on yourself if you haven't found a style that speaks to you yet. In fact, when you're starting out, it's best to experiment as much as you can. That's how you figure out what you like to draw or don't like to draw. For myself, it took about a decade to finally figure out where my art style was going. When I first started art, I kind of fell into the hole of following trends and trying to make my art as appealing as possible, rather than doing what made me happy. I also never sat down and fully learnt fundamentals, which I do think slowed down my progress. I was having fun though. The process of making something with my own hands kept me coming back, even when I dreaded the long line art sessions. Over the course of many years, I began to figure out what I didn't like. I didn't like spending longer than a few hours on a piece, I didn't like line art, and I didn't like drawing detailed faces. I slowly began to adjust my art style to fit these criteria. But it's not only what you don't like, you also need to think about what it is you love. For me, I love the look of early 90s and 2000s anime. The big eyes and chunky hair are super appealing to me. I'd say some big inspirations for me are Lucky Star and the original Fruits Basket anime. Honestly, any shoujo anime from that time fits my preferences. If you draw what's fun to you, then art will be enjoyable. It seems kind of obvious, but I know how hard it can be to let go of old drawing habits. When I finally stopped doing detailed eyes, a weight was lifted from my shoulders. Incorporating all this knowledge together brings me to my current art style. Chunky, cute, lineless, and simple. I do feel like my art still has a ways to go before I'm fully happy with it though. Through my commission work, I picked up the habit of color dropping from references to make sure the colors I'm using are accurate. In my personal work, I also do this. This has led to my coloring skills being somewhat lacking in personality. I don't know if you can tell from my VTuber design, but I actually love spookier and dustier color palettes and vibes. Writing this script got me thinking, how could I make myself enjoy drawing even more? So for this speed paint, I challenged myself to pick my own colors and soften my style a bit. This is just a personal observation, but my art was also getting very pointy and narrow, but I much prefer drawing a bit more rounded and wide. This has led me to making one of my favorite pieces this year. I'm much happier with my art after my little experiment. So make sure to follow your heart when deciding how you want to draw. I also want to get better at hands and work on more interesting compositions, but that's for another day. So, what do you like to draw? Lots of details? Do you like making it as clean as possible? Or maybe all you like to draw are sketches? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully this little video answers the questions I've been getting. Also, for those who haven't seen my post, I'm currently taking a short break from making YouTube videos until mid to late May, as I have a lot of IRL responsibilities. If I get a free moment like I did today, I'll try and make something, but I can't promise regular uploads until then. I am streaming on Twitch occasionally if you'd like to join in on the fun. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. See ya!